visit. She joins us now live. So, Malika, the first day of the trip and the focus of the Vice President seems to be religion, outreach, if you like, to the Muslim community. How is that being received?
It's being very well received in Indonesia. People are welcoming the gesture Mike Pence is making by visiting the mosque. He is scheduled to go there in about 3 to 4 hours from now. And remember, this is an administration that could do with a PR opportunity to reach out to the Muslim community, especially in Indonesia. If we go back and talk about the travel ban, even though no Southeast Asian Muslim country was included in the travel ban that President Trump had introduced against Muslim-majority countries, that travel ban did not go down well in Indonesia or in its neighboring countries of Malaysia either. And back then, a spokesperson for the Indonesian Foreign Ministry had said that Indonesia deeply regrets it and that it is wrong to link radicalism and terrorism with one particular religion. This is, as you mentioned, a Muslim-majority nation. It is the first time a senior official from the Trump administration is visiting a Muslim-majority country. By visiting a mosque, it does send out a message that perhaps the Trump administration wants to soften its image of an administration that's perceived as being anti-Islamic. So this is a good opportunity for them to send out that message, and it is being welcomed by people in Indonesia.
Well, Malika, for the president of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, he is known as a man who has a keen focus on economics. So there is the issue of trade. And there's concerns in Jakarta by what President Donald Trump actually means when he says America first.
Well, protectionism, no, it really hasn't been on the top of the agenda in Indonesia. It's not something Indonesians are that particularly concerned about. It is a concern, yes, globally, of course, but not at the top of the agenda for Indonesians. What they are concerned about is trade, and this is of particular importance after the U.S. has said it is walking away from the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is a multi-trade agreement involving several Asian countries. The U.S., though, very keen to send a message that it is going to continue to engage in trade with Indonesia. Indonesia is an important market. It is Southeast Asia's largest economy. It has shown steady and good growth of 5 to 6% over the last several years. It has a growing middle class. It has a young population. And all of these factors make Indonesia a very important market, potentially a very, very important market for the U.S. So trade, bilateral trade, is very important between the two countries. And Pence's message is going to be that we are open to do business with Indonesia. So it's particularly important given that the U.S. has walked away from the TPP, but it wants to continue to engage in individual bilateral ties between several Asian countries. John?
Okay, Malika, thank you for that. Malika Kapolde, following all the details of Vice President Mike Pence's visit to Indonesia. Thank you, Malika.
Well, the Trump administration is also heating up the rhetoric against Iran. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson accused Iran of what he called, quote, alarming provocations to destabilize countries in the Middle East. Tillerson reported to Congress Tuesday that Tehran was abiding by the nuclear deal signed by the Obama administration. But he says the Trump administration is reviewing its policy toward Iran.
Iran is the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism and is responsible for intensifying multiple conflicts and undermining U.S. interest in countries such as Syria, Yemen, Iraq, and Lebanon, and continuing to support attacks against Israel. An unchecked Iran has the potential to travel the same path as North Korea and take the world along with it.
Well, joining us now, CNN military analyst, Lieutenant Colonel Rick Francona. Colonel Francona, always good to have you with us. Let's take a look at these comments made by Secretary of State Tillerson. I mean, what's interesting is that they come the day after the administration informed Congress that Tehran was abiding by the terms of the Iran nuclear deal. So let me ask you this. What is really going on here? Is the Secretary of State playing politics?
I'm not sure. His statements are very interesting because later on in those comments, he said that he believes we're basically kicking the can down the road. What we have, this agreement with the Iranians, the JCPOA, is merely borrowing. We're borrowing time. At some point, the Iranians are going to be free legally to resume their nuclear program.